Your plan is to cut the sink in half with the Sawzall?
Yeah. This is the biggest type of project that we've attacked on our own since owning this RV.
How confident are you in your plumbing skills, Ben?
I've gotten a lot better over the years there, dear. Don't be dropping on me. Gross. Gross. I made it. Oops. Uh-oh.
Oh, shoot.
Is there even a gasket on there? We've become really good at figuring out what not to do.
Yes.
All right, so we have a small problem. Well, shouldn't say small, maybe big. Big, small problem. And it is time to fix said problem. Now, if you are new, let me just give you a little bit of background. Our RV is 20 years old. And we are not going to be purchasing a new one anytime soon for a variety of reasons, which we have plenty of videos that talk about that. So here's what we've got. Our 20-year-old RV has this kind of older style sink. And when we are out and about, this is a problem because we're trying to do dishes. We're just basically trying to live life in our RV without a dishwasher and then having this sink that just isn't super functional or user-friendly. So one thing that is good about Facebook groups is you can see what others have done. And we are part of a Facebook group that is specific to this make and model, being a Fleetwood Discovery. And we have seen where some people have shared that they've replaced the sink with a specific sink that we found on Amazon. So we'll put a link below because this actually might be a good sink for a lot of different RV applications. So the sink is here.
And what do we do when things just don't work for us? We make it work. We tear it out. We just tear it out and put something in that works for us.
This is a project that I hope we are not in over our heads on, because literally this is the biggest type of project that we've attacked on our own since owning this RV.
And then the biggest thing I recommend doing is always, trying to just keep the parts with the item. This will make your life a lot easier. I learned this the hard way. Keep everything together.
How confident are you in your plumbing skills, Ben?
I've gotten a lot better over the years there, dear. Glad we just put this in. It's glued in, so we're going to have to drop it down. I'm just concerned how much glue is on there and how much we have to pry the sink down.
Are you scared?
I'm overwhelmed. No. All right, let's start with one thing at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So we'll take this off. Ooh, this. Okay, here's the P-trap to allow us to drop the sink down a little bit. Oh, don't you're dropping on me. Gross. Gross. Whoa. It's glued in there really well. I really think this is gonna do the job. Yeah. All right, ready? Oh yeah. Yep. That's gonna work. Oh yes, this is perfect.
Victory is ours.
Perfect. Yep.
There we go. Break the corian.
Oh, no.
Oh. Well.
Oh, there you go.
This is like one of the things that I feel like when we talk about RV quality, like this, honestly, this sink was in there.
Yeah.
The sink was in there tight.
It took us about an hour of I went through all my batteries on the multi-tool.
If this was a new RV, this sink probably would have just come out like that.
Well, there's a couple screws that they take out in some of the videos we saw, but not this one. It's in there.
It was in there.
Make sure you have a mask if you're going to use the oscillating tool with this stuff, because there's a lot of glue and a lot of stuff flying up in the air.
Flip it like this way, right?
Like the problem is this. Oh, jeez.
What's the problem?
We might actually have to break it in half. So really, the easiest thing going to be to use this. And one of you guys commented on one of the last videos we did and said if I got a more aggressive blade, it would cut through faster. So I got a more aggressive blade, and so we'll see if this will cut through faster.
Your plan is to cut the sink in half with the Sawzall?
Yeah.
No. I feel like
Why not?
that's actually more work than just clipping the side of the cabinet a little.
No.
Dude.
We need to keep the cabinet
I think
in
you
place.
are underestimating how heavy and thick that sink is to cut through it.
You'd be amazed on what this can cut
All
through.
right, don't cut through anything else that shouldn't be cut
right.
through.
Okay.
I don't think this is gonna go well.
We're good. It's out. Okay. Here's half. 1/2.
We're gonna have to just go
Need
take
it
this
bigger.
down to the
Oh, I know what we could do with these.
curb.
Here's the other half. Ugh. Okay. Well, there she is, folks. And we didn't even bust up the pipe or anything, or have to take out any of these support pieces. Now, you know what we do with this. Yeah, I made it oops.
I cannot believe this. Like, this is not.
It's not good. It was a big accident. So with the Sawzall, I didn't do the whole thing, but I accidentally cut when I was going up. So, cutting the sink in half. So, bummer. I guess I should have looked back up in there a little bit more to see what was under there. So, but I could put a piece of wood back there and some putty to kind of
Putty?
like putty, and then we'll paint over it. Some, Okay, here goes nothing. All right, let's see if she fits. Ugh, what?
Close. All right, so guess what I just figured out?
What'd you figure out?
You know the sink template, the cardboard? It was actually the actual template. We weren't supposed to draw or cut.
Our own template? I was wondering about that. Well,
This is as clear as mud.
it is clear. This is the...
But it says cut out template.
No, this is the cutout template for this.
I thought that meant to cut out the
Oh my
template.
gosh. See, this is why it's interesting doing projects with your
No,
spouse.
okay, but here's the other thing. This is
Like-
also, I feel like, okay, you know what would be really helpful? Florney. Is it
Actual.
Florney? If you would actually put a YouTube video out that I could scan your little QR code for how to install said sink, it would have saved us a bunch of time. I keep thinking about the end
What are you
result.
grateful for today?
I am grateful that we at least figured out what the problem was.
Yes.
And we know what to do moving forward.
And we know what not to do. Because we're good at that. We've become really good at knowing,
So
figuring out what not to do.
Yes.
So as you can see up here, there's this little lip here. And that's why you have to use the template and not cut out the cutout template. Look at this. This is, she put it back together.
It looks like a kindergarten project or
It does.
something. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Okay.
we look like kindergartners.
All right. Well, now we know what
No,
we're supposed
this
to
is
be
the
doing
true-
for real.
The real
For real. Oh,
cutout. All right.
Okay. All right.
Man. Okay, so yesterday we ran out of batteries completely. So I've got a second charger on order on Amazon for these just because, we go through these batteries really fast and I can't be without the batteries. And then I came out this morning I'm charging all the batteries, on our RV, in the RV using the lithium batteries. and I went to put this one in and there's no light. So when it comes to lithium batteries, if they are dead, that doesn't necessarily mean they're dead. So what we can do is we can jump start this battery. In theory, it should start charging again. So let's see if we can do that. I've got these two, just like a little jumper wire here, and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so we're gonna go into the B+. Actually, I'm gonna take these apart just so I don't mix them up. B+ to the B+, then B-, and just for, you know, a few seconds. Whoa, that's kind of scared me there for a second. All right, give it a few seconds. This is the dead one. Okay, then pull them out and start charging. Sure enough. So that's all we needed to do to jump this. We didn't need to throw this battery away. It's not really dead. It just needed to be jumped.
We tabled the cutting we need to do for yesterday until today, and we could get the batteries charged. And then to keep moving forward, Ben ran to Home Depot and got some additional pieces that we're gonna need to get the plumbing hooked up to drain the sink into the gray tank. So here's the deal. So when Ben ran to Home Depot yesterday, he actually ran into a guy in the plumbing section who's a plumber, and just kind of like struck up a conversation, let him know what our project was, got some recommendations from him. And so this is like flexible to where if you need to like move things around a little bit instead of being just, it goes this way or this way or this way. So hopefully between this and these other pieces that we got, Ben showed this guy a picture of what we're working with. This is what he recommended. We should be good to go. But first things first, we have to get the sink dropped in, and then we can finish hooking all this stuff up.
Little bit of caulk around the edges. You want it further forward too, right?
Yeah, I mean, however it's gonna sit in there.
That's good.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so nice. So I was looking at this and I actually kind of like this because of course we don't have a garbage disposal. If you have a garbage disposal in your RV, that's like bougie, man. Anyway, so, but this little like strainer basket thing is kind of nice because it sits all the way down in there, and then you can just pick it up and dump it out, you know, like for little food scraps. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then of course your plunger, so if you need to, you know, fill the sink to wash dishes. We'll obviously keep you posted, which means you should subscribe if you're not, and double check that you still are, because we've seen where YouTube has been unsubscribing people. It's a whole nother thing. But we'll keep you posted on how this works then as we go through just daily life in the RV. So before we move on and we get to this whole conclusion of the sink install, one thing that I did want to talk about, since we're just kind of going over RV plumbing and those types of systems, is something that has been a game changer for us when it comes to our plumbing in the bathroom. And that is just making sure that you don't damage any toilet seals by using the wrong products. Now, early on, when we were first starting RVing, we actually did end up with a damaged toilet seal. The toilet bowl would not hold water. And we found out later that using the wrong types of toilet brushes and cleaners can actually damage that seal. And so, of course, we had to learn through the school of hard knocks. So I am super excited about this new slimline toilet brush from our friends over at Unique Camping and Marine, which is the sponsor of this video, because a silicone bristle brush like this will keep your toilet clean without damaging those toilet seals. So we've now switched over to this type of brush, and they actually just came out with this new slimline one. So super easy and compact to store in your RV bathroom, coupled with the Unique Camping and Marine cleaners that are not going to harm any of those toilet seals, but more importantly, they're going to keep the bacteria in your black tank healthy to help keep away those black tank smells. So this toilet brush is now available on Amazon. We'll have a link in the description below. And a huge thanks to Unique Camping and Marine for their continued support of our channel and sponsoring this video.
A few moments later.
This is actually one of those times where we're both frustrated right now because things are not going the way that we want them to go. RVs are not just a cut and dried thing where it's like everything is how it should be, like in a sticks and bricks house. So you're always dealing with anomalies.
Day 3.
All right, so you know how sometimes it's just better to walk away from something and come back to it later when you've had a chance to clear your mind. So it has literally been like 2 days that we have just walked away from this project because nothing was going right at all on the plumbing mod piece. I mean, we finally got this situated and that's good, but nothing seems simple. We've got all our pieces here that between this, we should be able to make something work, really because of the magic of this type of stuff now that's available where you can, you know, have some flexibility. Hopefully this will be complete by today.
So one thing that you should have in your toolbox arsenal is one of these DeWalt angle screwdriver things. Because what you do is just you put it on your drill and it allows you to get back into those little crevices. This is probably one of the best buys. And actually, it's funny, Tim, the guy who helped us with the day beds, threw this into my cart at Home Depot. And I'm glad he did. Thanks, Tim. So I appreciate it. All right, hopefully this is the last time that we'll need to drop her in. So Charity's taking credit for this one. Oh my gosh. This is called the double P-trap method. Oh my God, Charity.
There's no other way.
Yeah, that's true. This is really bad, but this will work for now. We could always change it. Nothing's permanent.
So here's the question. If you're out there and you're a plumber.
And if you want a double P-trap, you just kind of push this
Careful.
down. No, I'm just kidding.
Let us know what you think. Because the bigger problem we have is these black pipes are a bigger size than what you find in a standard like household Home Depot Lowe's.
Giving me a complex.
So that's the bigger issue here. So is it pretty? No. Will
Is it functional?
work?
Yeah.
We're about to find out.
You guys have a better idea? Yes. Please email us, support@gratefulglamper.com, and let us know maybe a better way to do this.
I think this is the best way.
Oh, that's gonna look nice.
All right, so the moment of truth. First of all, let's turn on, because I put the plunger in the sink, so like we can fill the sink with water, right?
Yeah.
So let's turn on both waters and make sure that we have no leaks, just like from the water going to the faucets.
It works. Now, are we leaking though? No leaks. Charity's double P-trap is a
far, so
success.
Well, it's not a P, it's an SP.
It's a dual. Uh-oh.
Oh, shoot.
Uh-oh. Is there even a gasket on there?
No O-ring, leaky.
There's no O-ring there. Oh yeah, we need a gasket in here.
Okay, well, that seems
why.
like an easy solution.
Okay. So I put in the old gasket for now. I know you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to put in a new one, but this is better than nothing for now. This is gonna stop the leak. Does it seem to be draining?
So far, so good.
At the right level. Yeah, actually it's draining pretty quickly. Let's see if we get the little swirl down here when it's at the end. Swirl or no swirl?
Swirl
what do you guys
was
think?
always the kids'
Oh,
favorite
we're gonna get a swirl.
parts of things.
Gonna get
The
a swirl,
whirlpool.
and she's draining. Oh yeah. All right.
Oh.
Success.
But
High five.
see, it didn't want to do it until I gave this a little bit of a bend, because
Right.
water flows downhill.
Yep.
So do other things. But plumbing 101.
Well, she looks good.
Oh my gosh, are we? Well, we're almost done. You know what? There's a couple more things we got to do, but the hard part's done. So this is going to be the cool part. You ready for the cool part?
Yeah.
Hold please. All right, so this is like one of the big reasons that I really like loved this sink when I saw it. So you have this kind of rack that sits in the bottom. So if you want to use this then like to dry your dishes, so when you're done washing, you can literally use this as a dish drying rack then too. You don't need a separate like dish drying rack if you don't want that or whatever. But here's the other cool thing is you've got a lot of options. So this, because this sink is like grooved, so you can set stuff up here. So maybe like where I'm thinking I'm going to use this is like, let's say that we go to the farmer's market and I want to get like some veggies or something, and I want to throw these in here and then spray those down to rinse those off. It's like a good strainer thing.
What's this other thing
You've got this, like my other kind of roll dish drying rack thing, but because it's shaped, it fits right into the sink area too.
Roll it back real quick. Let me see.
So
oh yeah,
you can roll it.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do that. So that's like an option, right? Like there's lots of options here. But then this is probably one of my favorite things too. So you've got a cutting board that then you can fit right in here. The one thing that I did a lot with our other sink is with the double sink covers, a lot of times when I was cooking, I would take the one sink cover and put it on just this one half side, because you still need the other side of the sink to be able to rinse your hands as you're food prepping and things. So with this can just sit in here, and I have this cutting board to be able to do food prep when I'm cooking, but then still have this other half of the sink. But I think honestly, like the thing I like about this most is that I'm not having to worry about just jockeying, because it's like moving stuff around. All of a sudden I'm like, is that the right word? It is. But jockeying around those sink covers during travel days, because let me show you, hold on. So these were the old sink covers, and I mean, these are just heavy, but they're also like awkwardly shaped. And so I found myself a lot of times putting them like next to the slide when we would set up. And then I was always like worried that Ben would forget that they were there when he was to bring the slides in. So that eliminates this. No more messing with sink covers on, sink covers off, and back and forth. This just stays how it is. And then I can even, you know, like if I just need to move this cutting board up and out of the way, I can do that. Like this is going to make so many things easier. And then here's the other thing too. If you're an insider, you already saw that we were working on this project because we share kind of more real-time things with those of you that are insiders, and we'll have a link in the description if you want to become a Grateful Glamper insider and get some behind the scenes looks and stuff. But one of our insiders asked, well, why are we even doing this? So here's the big kind of reason why, in addition to just the other sink being old and outdated and it would look dingy and hard to keep clean, is that we do a lot of cooking. We're doing a lot more cooking in the RV. We're really trying to eat a lot more healthy, which means prepping a lot of our own meals. And that means I'm using a lot of like pots and pans when I'm cooking, and trying to wash bigger pots and pans in that small sink is really difficult. I literally would have to do dishes in shifts. So I would have a big pile of dishes, do a few, wash, dry, put those away before I could do the next set, because not everything would fit in the sink at once. So this way I can do all of my dishes. I can get my pots and pans clean the way I want, and have versatile space. So a win. We'll put a link for this in the description. I would assume it would fit most RV applications if it fits ours, but you can always take measurements. They have a couple of different options on measurements too. So not sponsored or anything by Filorni, but just a product that we found that we felt like would work for us. And yeah, pretty darn excited about that.
Okay, so to mount the water filter and the fire extinguisher, I got some of this metal strap on Amazon, and you can cut it to length. So I'm basically making like a little makeshift bracket, one on each side of the filter, just to hold it up there nice and snug. And then we can always change out the filter too. We could just unplug the ends and then slide it out, put it back in the bracket.
The cleeps. The cleeps.
It's gonna be to use this. Don't you're dropping on me. Gross. Gross. Hey, what are you doing sitting on the job?
No, I'm researching. I just had an epiphany.
What's the epiphany?
Okay, you know that multi-tool that you were like, I have to have one because Tim Blakely had one.
Yes, that's what you use. Duh.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
You were doing it the hard way this whole time. Get that sucker out and get to work.
Oh my gosh.
I'll keep researching.
Totally.
Last thing, and this is super important, is our GoV water leak sensor. So if for some reason we do spring a leak at some point, this is going to actually audibly alarm. So if we're in the RV, we will hear it before that we actually like have disaster underneath there. But if we're not at the RV and we spring a leak, then it will actually send us an alert through the GoV app through Wi-Fi. But these can just absolutely be a lifesaver, literally save you from a potential disaster. And then last but not least, my little organization under here with the IKEA bins. I love the bins from IKEA because they are so helpful for organizing small spaces like in an RV. And speaking of IKEA, I have got a ton of ideas on organizing with IKEA, and I'm gonna leave that right up here.